I would like to remind you all that this is a bit of channel dedicated to listening to a lot of pony fics, several from all across fiction. Several of those fics have been great. Some of them have been decent. As of recently, we did 2 that were pretty good without me riffing. As of right now, since you clicked on this video, you have chosen to watch this. You've chosen to listen to me riff this. You could have decided to go to my playlist and pick any of the dozens upon dozens of fics out there where I do not complain, I do not rant, I do not riff, I do not joke. So, if you end up not liking any of my jokes, any of my riffs, or want to write down in the comments, I don't like it when you complain. Please stop complaining. You're complaining too much. You chose this. You could have been listening to She-Ra in the Lord of the Rings, but you chose this video. So, your annoyance is on your hands. Me, I'm Pilot. I'm washing my hands of anything you're suffering. For the rest of you that have common sense, welcome back to Friendship is Failure number 13, Darkness of Dimensions, by Maikin. Act 8, Strange New Worlds. In the feudal era, Inuyasha was growing impatient as he and the others were waiting by the well. Wouldn't it be normally Inuyasha does waiting by himself? I mean, after all, it is his girl. It's taking her so long. Everyone else agreed. Apparently, his patience, notwithstanding, are more or less non-existent. Semiroku. There they are. There they are. Thank you. That is a perfect understatement, said Sango. Kilala ship aside. You had to skip most of the Starlight scenes. Yep, but now Sango's here. Now we're all happy. Suddenly there was a loud crash within the well, and many voices arguing and grumbling with one another. One of them was Kagome's. Hey, what's going on? She groaned, as she felt herself being smushed by several strange creatures that mysteriously appeared inside the well with her. Watch it! Get your foot out of my face! Help! Help! Being crushed! Inuyasha and friends were confused by a racket coming from the well. What's going on down there? Inuyasha wondered as he moved in closer. Kagome? Then suddenly, Anapia happens! And a huge wave of shadowy magic bursts through the well, Birds, knocking it back. What's that? Is this some kind of demon? I can't be sure, said Moroku. Stand close to me, Sango. Sango did so, only to feel him rubbing her butt. Why, you what? She laughed so good, but even though she knows she enjoyed it. Seriously, the sexual connection between these two. I wonder why they only have 3 kids. Well, we had a chance. I'm going to marry her. Oh, you're just going to start referencing Yasahime, aren't you? Yep. He also looked up at the large, silhouette, billowing energy. Naraku, is that you? I did feel like some demonic aura. You'd be able to smell a demon. Onomatopoeia! The dark smog slammed onto the ground and revealed 4 pony-like creatures, much to the amazement of others. Okay, so I looked at one of my riffers before, and one of them tried to point out, hey, just because the rules of dimension hopping are not Kingdom Hearts doesn't mean it's wrong. But I'm not focusing on just Kingdom Hearts. MLP itself demonstrated the rules of dimension hopping. They said themselves, in canon, mind you, when you hop to Equestria, from Equestria to another world, you turn into a human. It's their own rules, their mythology. It's not so much that it's not following what I want. It's not following what the show established. You know what this is? This is Micah throwing away the show canon. That's why he doesn't create human modes. Because he's lazy. He doesn't want to put forth the effort. My complaint isn't that he's not following a certain set of rules. My complaint is laziness. Where they're trying to give us little versions of the girls in their costumes, he's going with this route. And this becomes dull and uninteresting. Go and finally pull herself up from the well. What's going on around here? She asked, but then saw the ponies. Whoa! Case began to panic. Flurry Heart? Shining Armor? What happened to them? Knowing Mike, he's going to kill them. He's going to murder them. I think that's the least of our worries right about now, said Rainbow Dash. You also helped her out as well. But the two sides continued to gawk at each other with strange expressions. The ponies were looking particularly at Iwasa. Hey, you got a problem? Yes, I do. Let's see. Wow, this isn't a question. Shippo was amazed. Wow, they could... Wait a minute. Why am I surprised they could talk? Because, Shippo, you never saw their kind before. Talking flea. There are a lot weirder things that does these ponies in this world. Yeah, but you're apparently amazed at that. Why? According to the script, you are. And... Oh, no. Wait. Was that Rarity? Oh, I just came here to get my bags. Continuing on, Vex. Oh, thank you, Rarity. No! Rarity, come back! I need... Oh, crap. Well, at least the others are still here, and they're not going to get distracted. And second of all, ghastly outfits. I really don't think the demon hunting outfits are that ghastly. Just read the line, Vex. I gotta try to see how much well I can convince Rarity to come back. Ghastly? Snapped Sango. Why would Sango snap at this? This really doesn't make sense. Nor would Moroku feel annoyed by this too, because this doesn't seem like they're really being that mean. Like, are you sure you know what you're doing, or are you just writing your own other avatars? Shh! Writing other avatars don't come cheap, you know! Well, personally, I think we all have better things to do than to read some of this dialogue. No, come on, guys, please stick around. I do not think we can afford to fast forward this part. Really, are we going to be doing anything interesting in these segments? I'll tell you what, Moroku. Everybody knows that I play random bits of fan art during this intro. If you stay here, I'll... Really? That much? Nothing but. I promise. I'll only have for a few minutes one little nice little picture. Then afterwards, it'll be nothing but you and Sango, baby. Alright then. What were you talking about? Nothing, my lady. We were just conversing. But I do believe that I have something that works out for all of us for us staying here. Fine. He's used her magic to haul Rainbow back over to the group. That's what Princess Luna approached the other gang. Princess Luna, that's too cute. Oh, for Pete's sake. Come on, girls. Any of you interested in doing this? Your glares and silence are staggering. Look, I've already promised you an awesome adventure story later. What more do you guys want? Conference! Well, we're thinking. Okay, we got to the decision. We'll stick around until we get to Erebus. And after that, we're leaving, and you replace the rest of us with most of the team of Fox Machina, and maybe a few members of Ruby, see if they want to come in. I'll see. Although I'll have to pay Rooster Teeth for mint. But in exchange, again, Adventure Fic. Alright. And you retcon a lot of evolution. What? You heard us. You retcon evolution of friendship. You really think I'm going to agree to that? You agree to our terms, or we're not doing the acting. Oh, you really think I need you guys to do the rest of this segment? Ha! Yeah, you kind of do. What else are you gonna do about it? Oh, you'll see. You'll see. I don't need you guys in order to do the rest of these segments or to read this dialogue. I'll be able to read it myself. Sure. Yeah, there's this thing going on the screen where they are meeting and they're talking to each other and they're saying stuff. They're doing things and So, how long do you think it's gonna take till it breaks? Trixie's giving him about 5 more seconds. And they're doing creative things and they're doing useful miking crap and okay! You guys win. I'll look over evolution in my notes and I'll try to figure out what to retcon. Just get back in here. And Rainbow, Cadence, and Luna will all be replaced with other members of Fox Machina, the Trace Hori Boys, or members of Ruby at my choosing. And the Adventure Fic. On deal. I know, I just wanted to see if he's going to remember that. Kagami, still finding it hard to believe that was happening. World of Demons! Ultimately decided, well, the best way to start is introductions. My name is Kagami. Oh, God. I hate interjunctions and crossovers. They're so dull! You also stepped in front of her. I really don't think we should be getting friendly with these guys until we can find a way to get out of this story. Kagami growled his rudeness. I am too, and this is too much even for Inuyasha. Even Rarity shared her thoughts. Because Inuyasha's being a jerk? But fine, if it'll help us get the answers faster. My name is Rarity. Rainbow flared upwards. I'm Rainbow Dash, fastest thing on wings. She showed off by flying in really fast circles. Because as we all know, that's the way Rainbow always introduces herself. And you also have friends who are astonished, and the introduction continued. Yes, astonished at the flying Pegasus. Almost astonishing as a raccoon that can turn into a flying thingy. A flying cow. A flying cat. And a fox that can turn itself into a round circular pink thing. All of this so really, really astonishing compared to the flying Pegasus. Sometimes, I really hate that trope. Cadence bowed deeply. Princess Miyamori Cadenza. Please, just call me Cadence. Luna set forth, and I am Princess Nuna, guardian of the light and co-ruler of the kingdom of Equestria. Shippo appraised the ponies nervously, and the ponies got down at the strange little creature. My Micah's making Shippo to be a little spineless coward. He smiled at her and offered her hope and spoke sweetly. It's okay. We won't hurt you. Much. Wow, he said under his breath. The rest of the team approached, even Iwasa. This is so cool. Real unicorns. I'm surprised with all the demons, monsters, and all the other fancy creatures you meet in Iwasa's world, you haven't seen real unicorns yet. What I'm basically saying, guys, is that at this point, talking points should seem lax. And not all that interesting. Actually, I'm the only real unicorn. The princesses are unicorns and rainbows and me a Pegasus. What do you mean mere? What I mean is that you're able to fly within a world full of flying creatures. Yeah, that's a fair cop. Suddenly, there was a loud roar as a huge centipede-like demon slithered off his lands. Rarity screamed in fright. Finally! Time for a fight! Oh, thank God. Thank God. Oh, wait, this is Mike's story. Yeah, we know. Ahem. Beep. Scream. Oh. Nay, we are powerless little females in the presence of this mighty demon. Indeed, we, who have actually faced giant monsters like this before, are nothing but scared and intimidated by this. So, you being turned into witches, it's normal, yes. So we're used to this type of thing and needs fix. The demon, replied Sago, will probably slaughter any creature that comes its way. Because heavens knows, they never met giant monsters before. More like I'll slaughter if it comes my way. Lift off, drawing to Tetsuga. Does he even really need to Tetsuga for this one? He can just slice it down with his claws. Slice the creature down with a miracle, vertical splash, spilling blood over. Much to Rarity's heart, even the princesses were in livid shock. Rainbow was practically stoked. Awesome! That was too easy. No, I'm not going to read the rest of this line. Can't you explain why, Luna? I'm the warrior of the two of us. I have fought giant monsters before. I'm used to taking them out. So, no. If anything, I would be cheering and you also on. So, no! You can read it monotone, Luna. Fine. You just up and slaughtered that creature. It was either him or us. No, you actually have to read that line with some feeling. Damn it! Despite his well-made point, the opponents couldn't bear the sight of the bloody corpse. Allow me, said Moroku. Pulled the beads off his right hand. Wind tunnel! He sucked the remains of the corpse to his hand and sealed the darkness off again. What's only shocked and astounded the opponents even more. Rarity even fainted from being overwhelmed. Because that's all I'm good for. Is he alright? Come on, let's take to Kaede's village. Maybe we can get to know each other better from there. Oh my. Feeling those bear off, so the opponents agreed and decided to go with them all. You know what this is? This is that classic, atypical, they're from a children's show, so they can't handle the violence stupidity that we see in every single damn parody. You know, that type of dull shit that nobody enjoys and was only fun, and it's only funny if you're a teenager. That type of crap. Now, not to say you only have to be a teenager to find those funnies. However, it takes a skills mind and an actual comedian to make that type of joke work. Mike is neither skilled nor funny enough to make that joke work. He is, in fact, a loser. He probably thinks like a teenager. Or a 5-year-old. Princess Luna suddenly stopped when she caught something for her eye. It was Nobunaga's Dark Angel. You know, I'm surprised I haven't made a teen angel joke so far through this whole entire fic. Must be losing my touch. Only several months dead rather than centuries due to time warp. His soar across the sky was almost gone. Aunt Luna, is something wrong? I'm well. Let us be off. As for Nobunaga, he was glowing with dark aura he had been absorbing. It was time to head back into the dark zone. He was hesitating, So must have felt dark angel, and mostly a fully dark one, appeared before him, confronting on his lateness. Garrity spoke in their eerie language, with the subtitles translating. What? It says only the subtitles were translating. I can't see anything. Now, if he said they were spoken in their eerie language, and does put parentheses, that would be different, but right now, all you got is subtitles. Though seemingly pointless, I still find myself drawn to observe the princess in my former pet. I realize I respect your feelings. I was succinct 1,000 years ago. Nevertheless, remember your place. There will come a time when you'll no longer be able to observe those you feel close to. I merely wish to endure what time I have, rather the princess has. See? It all changes when you change the dialogue, when you put in different inflections now, doesn't it? His colleague stood and understood him, passing into thin air. Suyo and Lord Kimo, why do we care about them? The only reason why I care about Suyo is because they prefer to see Ashley. How are you feeling today, my princess?
Carol, I feel wonderful.
Suyo sipped her tea and rolled her eyes, looked up at the cup in the sky. She dropped her cup and sock. Princess, what is it?
Nobunaga. I know I saw him, Carol.
Her husband looked up where she was pointing. Couldn't see anything in the sky except clouds. Now he was worried. My dear, you claim to see him for months. I see no one.
Bye.
So you can understand. She could see him far above. The Nobunaga could not see or hear as he was too high up. Then he just disappeared through a portal back to the dark zone.
No, Nobunaga.
Suyu called, but he was already gone. She bowed her head towards the floor as tears began to fall from her eyes.
It's gone again. I hate feeling I'm able to see him.
Her husband could only hold her softly and embrace her. Oh, princess, he cried. He didn't know what to do with her. Other than behead the witch. He loved her so much, he didn't wish her to be treated seeing things, for fear of being harmed. I'm so sorry you had to go through with this, my dear. Shake! He said softly to her, as he placed his hand lovingly over his, and continued to eat. Meanwhile, in the Disney Destined world, TK and Kyrie were in the streets, dancing, boogieing. As the solar eclipse took place, many people could see it, though they did not look directly at it. Ah! Okay, except for him. Many people thought it was a beautiful sight. That's when the sun began to glow mysteriously. Just as it did, the Disney portal opened many years ago. TK felt many memories returning to him. And for today, TK is voiced by Artemis? Okay. Maselli, 4 bright flashes of light shot out from the eclipse and flew straight to the streets. If that's the Tamers, I'm out. Making a huge flare and impact. After the light faded, the eclipse ended instantly, and everything was all bright again. You okay, Kyrie? Artemis asked. Look! Cried Kyrie, as he pointed to the middle of the road, where everyone could see 4 unusual creatures laying in the street. 4 multicolored horse-like creatures slowly got to their feet. Let me guess. No one is going to guess that they're Digimon, right? I'm just going to put that out there. Twilight, are you okay? Said Shining Armor. Twilight got rubbing her head.
I think so.
Let me guess. You heard from Rainbow Dash and the others about the deal.
Oh yes, and I'm looking forward to this.
You wouldn't happen to think that the deal wouldn't apply to you, would?
Nope. It applies to all of us. If Rainbow Dash is going, if Rainbow Dash and the others are going, so are we.
I love you, girl, some days. First eye of Starlight shot up, but then noticed the many people looking at him with shock, somewhat fear.
Are these humans?
Is this a human?
I think so.
Twilight, what else would they be? They walk on 2 feet. You would think it'd be smarter than this.
They don't look a thing like the humans I know from Caroline High.
They must be in a foreign country.
Must be in another world entirely.
I repeat, we've already established the dimension hopping rules back at Equestria, girls. You cannot just take the canon and mold it to what you like just because you feel like it's easy. Laziness is the sign of an idiot. First, I felt nervous. Whimpering at the sight of the strength. Many people began to run away in fright at the sight of the ponies. But TK and Car. Wait a minute. Time out. If everybody now knows the existence of Digimon, then that means everybody has their own digital partner. If everybody's got their own digital partner, then this means everybody would think that they are Digimon that belong to other people. So thus, they wouldn't care. If they don't know the existence of Digimon, then Davis is not a famous Digi-destined. So your whole entire point of Davis being really famous to get all those girlfriends makes no sense now due to the fact that nobody knows that he's a Digi-destined. But since everybody has to know that they are Digimon, then there's no reason to be running a fright. It's like running a fright from a Pokemon. Do you see the problem with your plotline? Suddenly, the sound of police sirens were heard as main cruisers and vans came rushing in from around the corners. Oh, they're not after they're not after the MLP cast. They're after Lupin. He's gone that way. What's going on? Cried Shining Armor. Before he knew it, he and the others were surrounded by cops pointing at their guns at him. Don't move, otherwise we'll be shooting ourselves! The captain shouted. The police all huddled together. No, wait! Kari spoke as he broke away from Artemis and danced up to the officers. But one of them softly pushed her back. Please stay out of this. Kyrie! Artemis called as he rushed up to her. No, wait, these haven't done anything. See, Kyrie shouted at the cops, but the cops wouldn't listen, and the captain called out to the ponies. But you're hit! I know what hoes are! Oh my god, has everybody gotta be an idiot for this to work? Sadly, yes, officer. Fluttershy was quivering like crazy. What do we do now? I got this, said Twilight, as she teleported herself and her friends away in a cloud of smoke. No. If our magic could work, then an illusion spell could work. Like, God, do you even magic, Mikey? Oh, wait, I forgot. You're so uncreative, you probably play D&D and only go for the basic spells because you don't know how else to do it. You're also probably a murder hobo. They disappeared, said TK Akari. Onomatopoeia! And the ponies reappeared a little ways up the street. Sorry, don't know my way around the world. Let's run, cried Starlight. All the others agreed to gallop up the road around the corner, with the cops chasing after him. Wait! Kyrie cried, and ran after her herself. Kyrie! Artemis called as he ran after her. The police and the cars zoomed around the corner and further up the street and were gone. That's when Twilight and the others appeared out of thin air, for Twilight had used an invisibility spell. Ding-ding-ding! That was close, said Starlight. Good move, Twilight, said Shining Armor, and his sister nodded in agreement. Since they knew nothing about the world they were in, they hadn't really a place to run to. I figured it was their best chance. I don't understand. Why were those humans treating us like that? Oh, they thought you were from the Confusion Bureau. We didn't do anything wrong. Like I said, Confusion Bureau. We'll worry about that later. We should try to figure out what this world is and how to get back to Equestria, if that's even possible. I'm all for that, said Shining Armor. We still don't even know what happened to all the others. He was secretly deeply concerned for Cadence and Flurryheart, wondering why they had not appeared in this world either. I'm just wondering why we even need Shining Armor. Come on, let's go this way, said Twilight, leading them all back around the corner when they came. When suddenly, onomatopoeia! Kyrie came rustling around from the corner, crowds ran to her. The two lay down on the ground with stars flying over their heads. Artemis came in and saw them. Ooh, I bet that hurt, he muttered softly. Starlight's features hardened. What do you want with us? Wait, said Artemis. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to talk. You know, man to man. Shining Armor helped Twilight and TK helped and Artemis helped up Kyrie. How do we know we could trust you? I mean, with the way everything's being written, you might as well just turn out to be demons. You can. Believe me, we don't want to hurt you. We just want to annoy you with our own teenage angst. Fluttershy could sense the deep kindness and sincerity in her voice.
think we can trust her.
Twilight was skeptical, but realized that these two humans really didn't mean any harm. They would have done something to them about now. Artemis whispered to Kyrie, "These are the strangest kind of Digimon I've ever seen." Starlight heard him.
Digimon? What's that?
Kyrie blinked once.
You mean you four aren't Digimon?
Ah, well, time to move on. Who cares?
Twilight rubbed her face on her hoof. Okay, this is gonna be a little confusing. Maybe we should start this over. Hello, I'm Princess Twilight Sparkle from the world of Equestria. This is my big brother Shining Armor. This is Starlight Glimmer and Fluttershy. Or as I like to say, useless, and my best friend.
Starlight thinks about being called useless, and then decides it goes,
Yeah, you're right.
As much as the two humans hardly understood, they politely introduced themselves. I'm Artemis.
I'm Kari Kamiya.
Twilight nodded respectfully, believing things were going to be much better. It's for the fact that people were watching from across the street.
Mommy, fairy tales. Is it Halloween already?
Talk about horse are a different color!
You just couldn't get away with the Wizard of Oz reference.
No, I could not. Twilight felt embarrassed. Maybe we should go someplace else to sort ourselves out, suggested Starlight. Kyrie agreed, and noticed Twilight and Fluttershy had wings.
Why don't you lift yourself up to the roof of this building?
Oh, I could do better than that, said Twilight. She used her magic to levitate the two humans closer to them, much to their surprise. How did you do that? Asked Artemis. Twilight just smiled, teleported the gang all the way to the roof on the high rise. Kyrie and TK were both shaking and panting in a state of shock. Because it's not like they've ever been lifted with magic or abilities before. I think you overdid it a bit. Twilight felt awkward, forgetting these humans had never seen or felt pony magic before.
This is totally different from any other magic.
No, it's not.
Oh, you poor things,
Fluttershy said as she fluttered up to the two and rubbed their backs, only made them a bit more shivering. Suddenly, Kyrie's cell phone rang. To the Digimon theme. To the Digimon theme. Okay, I'm skipping to the Titans comic. I'll be right back. Nope, not doing this. Nope. Oh, and in case anybody's curious, the ponies that show up in the Titans world is Celestia, Applejack, Pinky, and Flurry Heart. Because, God, we gotta have Flurry Heart in this for some odd reason. For long moments, Titans Tower surrounded in stunned silence. As Dick Grayson, formerly Robin to Team Wonder, listens to a most amazing confession. You somehow break through the Titans' defenses, claim I'm Robin, insist that one of our members' terror is a traitor, and you say you're the Terminator's wife, and you still expect me to believe your story? Lady, are you crazy, or you think I am? Come on, I may be young, but I'm hardly anyone's fool. Don't act like one, Mr. Grayson. Truth is truth, and even you have to admit to yourself my story's plausibility. Problem is, it makes sense. How else could the Terminator learn our identities? Then attack, defeat, and kidnap the other Titans. How can I trust her? Why does her son keep staring at me like that? Staring and never speaking, as if he disdains me. The young boy's green eyes continued to look straight into Dex, never moving, never wavering. What are you looking at, mister? If you don't like what you see, speak up. Don't keep staring at me like I was some sort of disease. Joseph cannot speak. He's mute, thanks to his father. As far as his staring, believe me when I say Joseph has never harbored a condescending thought in his life. Joseph nods, his demeanor reserved, gentle, and certainly without rancor. Yet a quiet pride shines through his thoughtful eyes. For no reason he can understand, Dick Grayson feels awe. Perhaps you'll believe me if you hear my story. It's about death, life, and the beginnings of the man you call the Terminator. It was the early 1960s. Vietnam was still several years away. It was before the deaths of the Kennedy brothers and King, when your wildest hopes and dreams were possibilities that could be plucked like ripe fruit from the vine. It was a time when defending your country was an honor, and a military career was a goal worth pursuing. So much has changed, and very little for the better. Camp Washington? I never heard of it. They're the best we've got. Fighting machines all. They can chew nails for breakfast and then spit out specs.
There's a new kind of war brewing, which requires a new kind of fighting. Captain Kane, it's your job to train them. Only a few will adapt.
Trust me, sir. Even if there's only one, I'll find him, and he'll be ready. The training begins in earnest. Slade Wilson had lied about his age when he first joined the Army at 16. He became the youngest decorated Korean war hero. He was already an Army legend before he joined us. The setting? Military base. The lone car drives in, and Slade Wilson, before he ever became the Terminator, gets off. He begins training with a few others, fighting with a staff, easily handling opponent after opponent. But I kept watching Slade Wilson for another reason. Try as it may sound now, he both frightened and fascinated me. I couldn't take my eyes off of him.
Mason Wilson's out front. He's completed the course.
Time?
6 minutes, 8 seconds. That's the second best time recorded. You're doing wonders with him, Captain.
Just watch the next test. He'll be even better.
They continue to move through the woods.
Slade, this is Bull. We're already certified for combat training.
Bill, the Army knows that. Keep moving.
We couldn't be here unless we were the best. Why bother going through basic again? Shut up. I hear something. You hear me complaining, that's all. There's no reason to. Blam! The shot rings out. No, 3 meters ahead. 11 o'clock. First target dummy. Get ready for more.
Hold.
Behind us! What's that? Let's go fire! They're everywhere! Shooting real bullets! Of course they are, Bill. Otherwise, this would be a true test. Now shut up! You have to listen for them. Trail's clear. Come on ahead! Slade! And wraps around Bill's leg and pulls him up. Help me! I fell into a snare trap! Slade!
He doesn't care, nor does he pay attention as Slade continues to walk through the woods.
Cut me down, damn you! Slade!
Don't need to pack. Too heavy, slowing me down. Trail up ahead. I don't like it. Grass is mad down too evenly, as if to lure me away.
Fort Delta Charlie to base. Mason Wilson, point the correct trail.
No, I think I'll cut through the forest. There's the sound of frogs ahead. There'll be a bog or moss. Also be that swamp I saw on the map we were shown.
I'll be damned if I knew how he knew, but he did. He's gone further than anyone else has. Captain Kane sure knows how to pick them.
And train them.
He's approaching the swamp. Well, we'll see if we can anticipate our next surprise.
After leaving the swamp, Slade Wilson continues to step through until he finally gets into a bog. Holding his gun above his head, he continues to move through. Slow water splashing around him. Water still. Nothing is moving. Where are the frogs? Frogs and birds. There should be birds here. Something's wrong, but what? I don't hear splash! Who? Can't believe it. There was a ripple in the water. Who's ever attacked me is strong. Wary. Can hardly force his grip open. The air quickly! Splashing out of the water, Slade decks his attacker. Okay, friend. Fight's over. Tell your generals I've won. What's that? Behind it, 2 more targets appear. Targets here? Surrounding me. What's going on? Major? Bang! Turning around, his opponent is a beautiful female. Your dad. He was dumbfounded and failing miserably to cover his bewilderment. I found myself laughing. He didn't know what to make of me.
Why did you leave me like that, Slade? Tried to improve your own score?
Bill, you know me better than that. In a real battle, you would have been dead, not simply captured. I proceeded with the mission just as you would have.
Bull, Slade! You're trying to win points, that's all you care about. You were beaten, Slade. Beaten by a girl.
Not by a girl, Bill. By a professional.
And if he's got something to teach, it's just you listen. He knows better herself better than either of us.
Something about this brings something to her eyes. Makes her smile. Major!
What is it, Captain?
I have a proposition for you.
Excuse me?
My father was liaison with Mao Zedong's Chinese guerrilla communist fighters during the war. I could pass some of their techniques on to you if you're interested.
Why me, Captain?
You don't mind, sir. You're a hot shot. Real good, real confident in yourself. I can make you better.
Modest, aren't you, Captain?
No, just honest.
Slade and I took a jeep to a special training field west of the main camp.
We'll see what you have to offer, Captain.
Slade, you know the first lesson. Call me Adeline, not Captain. No use pinpointing a brass target. Lesson 2 is tactics. You treat the enemy as individuals, you barge through them like a battering ram. Instead of thinking of them as a circle. And if enveloping force slowly surrounding you, closing in on you. Their leaders don't care if 1,000 die, if only one encompasses missing. So develop a professional sense, not a linear one. Press that button, will you? Looking next to a tree, there's a switch. Slowly, he presses it. And from around them, several cardboard dummies appear. Targets on them. In an instant, Adeline strikes out, shooting all around her. No good, Major. You were surprised when those dummies popped up. While they did, I could have killed you. Remember, don't think straight ahead. Think around you. Blam! 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 With each shot, she hits a perfect bullseye. Like that. Slade just looks at her. A smile crosses his lips. I think that was the first time I saw him smile. So, you interested?
Captain, you're the teacher. Want to teach me?
Across Adeline's face comes a smile. Intrigued and a little bit enthralled. I thought you never asked. I don't have to tell you how good he became. If you're sure you're still smarting from your last encounter with him. A year later, he graduated with honors. Major Wilson, step forward.
Your achievement here for the past year has been remarkable, to say the least. In a class of superior soldiers, your grades are outstanding as a bright beacon. It doesn't hurt to be fooling around with a teacher. It is my sincere pleasure to be able to address you now as Lieutenant Colonel Slade Joseph Wilson.
I must say, I am flattered you're celebrating with a lowly captain, rather than family or friends.
Adeline, my family's gone, and I have no friends.
I do believe I've been insulted, sir.
You. I don't believe it. Major Wintergreen, British Army, offering his congratulations, sir. Wintergreen, I never expected to see you again. Last you wrote, you were transferred to South Africa. Oh, I never missed this occasion. In fact, I've been reassigned here. My God, how long has it been? Quite a number of wrinkles ago, I'm afraid.
I'm sorry. Wintergreen, this is Captain Kane. Please, off beats. Call me Adeline.
My most sincere pleasure, ma'am.
Not even I could make Slade smile so easily. Years passed as she continues her story. It was hardly unexpected, but Slade and I grew closer, much closer. I fell in love with him when I first saw him. He fell for me when I first bested him in training. We were married 6 months later. Wintergreen, Slade's best man, serving him did as he always did, and probably always will. We didn't have much of a honeymoon. President Johnson escalated the conflict in Vietnam. Slade was assigned there. It was what the Army had trained him for. I would have been at his side, but I was busy elsewhere. Grant Wilson was born the night Slade landed in Nam. Wait a minute. I fought the Terminator before, and he's more than a well-trained soldier. His reflexes are inhumanly fast. His strength is greater than any ordinary man's. I begged him not to, but Slade volunteered for a medical experiment for resisting truth serums. You have to understand him. He did whatever the Army asks of him. Ding dong! Wintergreen, what's wrong?
Adeline, it's Slade. Something went wrong.
The medicine he used was an experimental ACTH. That would be a adrenocorticotropic tropic hormone. Derivative to stimulate Slade's adrenal gland.
The doctor swears he will recover.
Spy went into shock. They finally let me see him a week later. He was heavily sedated and unable to respond. But as what? As a cripple? Slade was born for action. He lives for the thrill of combat.
Captain, your husband's active career may be over, but there's still a place for him in the military. You can both have long, happy futures with us.
Thank you, Colonel. But I'm afraid forcing Slade behind a desk is the same thing as condemning him to death. The doctor said Slade had an intergracious aprasia. He'd be able to unwalk because of a loss of motor coordination. They were wrong. Instead, his coordination improved, His reflexes and strength became almost superhuman. He reapplied for active duty, but the army refused him. His condition would stabilize, then worsen. He'd be super powerful one day, then almost comatose the next. Slade grew morose, purpleless, almost suicidal. And I became pregnant for the second time. Joseph William Wilson was born a week before he received the news.
My God, Eddie. Cogs kidnapped Wintergreen. Colonel, listen to me, damn it. I know I can find and release him. You've got to give me a chance.
But he didn't. Angry, Slade slams the phone down.
I have to free him. You understand, don't you?
Actually, I didn't understand the bond between them. But that didn't really matter, did it? Slade somehow commandeered a plane, made his way to Hanoi, ostensibly completing his mission. It's ironic. Slade lived for the army, almost died for it. Yet, because he cared about someone, the army discharged him. My parents were wealthy and I inherited the family home, but I don't believe Slade was ever truly happy there. At least, though, his sickness seemed to stop, as well as his burst of superhuman energy. Still, he was restless. We took a safari holiday in Africa and he found what he was searched for. Slade became a hunter. His success was incredible, and success brought him fame and wealth beyond what I thought was possible. At last, he was content. We all see a picture of a hunting magazine showing Slade's new look. His calm and happy features are now replaced with those of a hunter, and now has grown an awesome goatee. Although he was gone weeks at a time, Slade was a good father. He was closest to Grant, who idolized him. But Slade also loved Joseph, who preferred music over fighting, painting over guns, and singing. His beautiful singing over all. Slade took on a new role as well, one I never expected he cared for. Host. Our parties brought forth the very cream of society. Sometimes we even saw Dwayne's.
No, that wasn't in there in the comic, folks. I just figured I had to make a connection between Slade and the Waynes there. Give me a break.
As well as notables from many nations, including Wakanda. They seemed to crowd around Slade as if he were more famous than they. Then he ushered them into his den, showed them his trophies, talked with them until dawn. A bit of hunting, I assumed. What a naive, trusting fool I must have been. I was soon to learn the truth soon enough. On a dark, chilly autumn night, Joseph was asleep in bed. Grant was away at military school. And Slade was in Africa, leading a safari, I thought. I was searching for a book to read before turning in when I heard a faint crunch of trampled leaves. My training alerted me. I was prepared in less than a second.
Several men dressed in red robes break through the window. Where's Deathstroke? We want him!
I knew better to reason with them.
Grabbing a bugsy, slams it into one of their necks.
Instead, I acted. They were professionals. But then, so was I.
Breaking out a gun, Adeline rolls around and starts shooting.
And although birthing 2 children had slowed me down,
hiding behind a chair, she continues to firing, taking out man after man.
It wasn't by much. Still, I missed one of them firing a gas grenade. I choked, falling to the ground, almost unconscious. I barely heard him speak.
We got the kid. The Terminator will negotiate with us now.
They had kidnapped Joseph, taking him God knows where. I couldn't locate Slade, but he must have known. Next evening, Slade had returned home. As Adeline continues her story, Joseph can only lower his head and frown. Memories of that day playing in his mind.
Yes, I understand. I will meet you. But if you dare harm my son, nothing on earth will save you.
Slade, why did they come here? Who's this Deathstroke the Terminator they wanted?
Adie, please sit down.
Slade!
Adie, please bear with me. The Terminator is a superpowered mercenary. The best there is. He's a paid assassin who's never missed.
What does that have to do with us? I asked, even though I suspected the answer.
My extra powers never left me. I only told you they did. I'm Deathstroke.
That's all he said before turning and walking into his den. I sat there waiting. He reappeared a moment later, walking from the shadows. Slade Wilson had disappeared. Suddenly, this man who was my husband scared the living hell out of me. Garbed in a blue suit with mass chainmail. Orange gloves adorned his hands and boots, and a mask covering his face, blocking all sights of his visage. Slade Wilson no longer stood before her. Now stood a man known only as Deathstroke the Terminator. Don't you worry, Adeline. Our son will be safe. I guarantee it.
Please, Slade. Just give them whatever they want. I don't want Joey hurt. Please, promise me!
I told you, Joseph will be safe. My word is my bond.
He started to leave, but I forced him to bring me along. That uniform, Slade was somehow different. But he landed in Tangiers. Slade seemed to know where he was going. He had a secret life I knew nothing about. And that frightened me.
Deathstroke! Good thing you came quickly. Your kid's becoming a pest.
Who are you?
My real name's unimportant. You may have heard me as the Jackal, among other names.
Even I heard the Jackal. He was an international terrorist working out of Uganda. Where's my son? I want to see him!
What do you want from me, Jackal? Come on, Terminator. We're both professionals. Please don't belittle yourself by playing dumb. You killed Colonel Akiba Kadar, a good friend and business partner of my employer. We simply wish to know who contracted you.
Mommy!
But a sound of words down, and standing next to the doorway, two men still dressed in red hold poor little Joseph Wilson in their arms, knife at his throat.
Give me the information, and on my honor as a fellow professional, your son will be released.
No, please, don't hurt him, please!
Italy, don't grovel.
Daddy? Slade, for God's sake, tell him what he wants!
Do so, Terminator. Even you are not swift enough to prevent his death if I order it. As a professional, you know I would gladly give the command. And as a professional, you know I cannot reveal that information. My word is my bond.
They'll kill our son if you don't! Nothing's worth that!
My bond is.
Reaching into his belt, he pulls out a dagger.
Move! Now! Kill him!
You said nobody was that fast. I am. Pulling out his blade, he throws it, killing one of the men. Just as soon as the blade cuts into Joseph's neck.
I'm more than
Any ordinary man. Blinking out his bow staff, he fires another shot, killing another soldier.
I've got powers that make me greater.
Bringing out his little mini machine gun, he shoots and kills Jackal.
Even than the legendary Jackal.
Oh my God. Slade, what have you done? Joey?
He's alive. The killer was just starting to cut his throat.
Slade has always wanted, no need to be the best. Now our son suffered for a monumental ego. You see, our son, Slade, had risked our son's life by gambling his speed. He just wasn't fast enough.
We have to get him to a hospital quickly.
Obviously, Joseph lived, but at the cost of that beautiful voice. But for all Slade cared, Joseph could have died. Reaching forward, Adeline pulls down Joseph's shirt, revealing the scar across his throat. This is the mark of a father's love. This, in the course of my other son, Grant. You knew him as the Ravager. I didn't know. 1,000 emotions and thoughts go through Dick's mind, but his face remained stoic. Now it makes sense. I gather you divorced him? Only because I didn't succeed in my primary mission. I spent every day at the hospital, so I never once showed up. I admit I was confused, angry, and distraught, but I knew as long as the Terminator lived, my family would never be safe. Aileen steps into the trophy room, where Slade looks over his weapons. In case you care, he'll live.
I know. I called. 80, it was a calculated risk. I didn't think he'd be hurt. I just couldn't compromise my professional standing.
No, you couldn't, could you?
I haven't been a full person since the army kicked me out. I needed something. Being the Terminator is it.
Killing makes you complete.
They're executions, not killings. Slowly, she reaches behind her back, pulling something out. They're different. I never do anything to compromise our country's security.
But it's okay to compromise your son's life?
I have another contract. We'll talk when I get back.
I cocked the gun ever so quietly, but
80. BAM!
his super speed reflexes saved his life. All I managed to do was shoot out his right eye. So he's blind in one eye. A one-eyed mercenary. And good enough not to care if people knew. Okay, assuming everything you said is true, why did you wait so long to show up? We finally tracked him down when he made a televised grandstand on Wall Street. Then we found out about Tara, and obviously we couldn't have made our move with her around. Unfortunately, he was able to capture your friends before we could reach you. Fortunately, we know where Slade's keeping them. You know? My God. You wasted all that time and you knew all along? Where are they? Tell me! And then what will you do? You are no longer Robin. You can't barge in there as Dick Grayson. You're right. It's about time I became a full-fledged Titan once again. Meanwhile, in case you're wondering in the fic, the girls show up, more police show up, everybody traps the girls into little tiny Pokeballs and heads back to Titan's Tower where they release them. Everybody's like, oh, who are you? And then Raven says that they are... Oh my god. That hatred fic is not the first time Micah did this. And I swear, I'm not making this shit up. They are My Little Ponies from Equestria. Oh my god. That hurts. This one hurt. And he even capitalized it. Ow. My soul's dying. Ow, ow. Meanwhile, Raven explains in the background that 100 years ago, Vortex opens in the sky, and a pony wizard appeared. Wow, Starsword, you're just going all over the place, aren't you?
Yes, I even make unneeded appearances in Season 7.
I mean, totally needed appearances. Yeah, I still totally didn't mock his appearance in Season 7. Not at all. Nope. 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 Sadly, for some odd reason, this entire conversation, Starswirl goes unnamed. Don't know why. Starswirl could be pretty cool. And I kid, I do like the ending of Season 7. It was kind of fun, kind of interesting, but the pillars are not going to show up and shooting stars. My apologies for all of you who thought that was going to happen, but it ain't. Not in the least. Crystal was lost. It popped up somewhere. And now everybody's discussing more about it. They talk about how to get the Sun Crystal, but apparently they can't get it because it costs $50 million. Here's the problem. Dick, over there, son of Batman, Bruce Wayne's son. He's got a very hefty bank account. It shouldn't be that hard for him to write for the Wayne Foundation. You know, monetary issues are so easily solved when your dad is like a millionaire and your dad earns more money than ever. It's kind of like saying you're related to Scrooge McDuck and you are worrying about money. Meanwhile, their rooms are setting up and trying to figure it out. They're a little bit angry when they see the Dark Angel. And meanwhile, back in the feudal era, because this happens. Do not be surprised in Yuasa. These are mysterious times we exist in, and anything that seems possible. She's right. How else could he wind up here? TARDIS, dimensional hopping, the portal for turtles. Moroku contemplated the situation. The only logical answer would be that somehow your dimensional warp gate cross-intersected with the time travel powers of the magic well. What's brought you all here?
Yeah. Whatever you just said?
You wouldn't have any idea how to get back. Indeed, we must get back. I have so many clients ordering outfits. Now I've seen so many of your facets I could start a new line. Sango was confused. Yes. I am confused. Why would Maiken write a line where she's insulting, but...
Trust me. You're gonna point out all the plot holes here, Sango. We're gonna be here forever.
Suddenly she felt something biting her rump. Huh? She went around and saw a little flea. Yoga sucking her blood. Eddie couldn't help but yell and swat the flea with her tail. Yoga was sailing through the walls, getting on the floor.
Not the worst way I've been thrown,
he groaned.
Ugh.
Already, she rubbed her button. I should never feel the same again. Really, Miyoka, have you no shame? Grumping a female like that?
Scolded Moroku. Naturally, the air is all glared at him for that. Meanwhile, Moroku was busy rubbing Sango's little posterior. Thank you, Lord. Meanwhile, Luna was outside, looking up at the full moon.
I see above the moon rising. I see rubber on the way. She tried to use her magic to shift it.
I don't know why she did, but she did it.
Odd. It appeared that this world's moon is different than that of Equestria's. Why did I not figure that out in the first place? She began to think of her sister, Celestia, and all the rest of the gang, wondering if they were okay wherever they were. Princess Luna, we're all turning in. Are you okay? Quite fine. I'm used to staying up late when I'm fun. That's a little upside Kokome.
Yeah, but this isn't Equestria. You really don't need to stay up all night this time.
Luna realized she was right, and the more she thought it over. Also, it would be nice to get some extra sleep and then stay out the daytime. So she and Kokome stayed inside. So most of the others were already asleep. Gaines was the only one still awake. Shippo and Kalala were sleeping right beside the children and their mother. It was raining her fraught with worry and sadness, worrying where Flurry Heart was, in shining armor and twilight. I was still worried about our friends. We gotta find a way to get back to Equestria.
And we shall,
said Luna. Yeah, she honestly didn't know how, but she had to have faith and be brave for her niece. Going assured them both. We'll do everything we can to help you. But first, a little beauty sleep. Meanwhile, the Digimon were in the park. And the rest of the team were watching them play around. I've never heard cute monsters before, even though I petted a little baby manticore in cannon. That's nothing. What's this? Pepper breath! He fired several blue balls in the air, juggling his claws. Now try this! Blue Buster! Create beautiful streams of blue flames, and Tentamon Beamon fly around. Ta-da! Starlight and Twilight were amazed. It's almost like watching a magic show. Yeah, and I can do Flame Strike, your point? Hey, Twilight, said Sunny Armor. He winked at her, she winked back at her. They stood together for magical tricks they used to do while growing up. What are they doing? Everyone watched the shining armor, levitating his sister on his back. He bugged hard, launching her high into catapult. How's that magic? That's not a magic trick. That's a physical trick. And something I doubt Twilight would be able to do right. You do remember who Twilight is, right, Mikey? She is not athletic! She is a nerd! If it weren't for her flight and her fighting strength, she would be falling on her face. That's amazing for a pony, said Kari. Cody agreed. When are they good at martial arts dire? Twilight then drove down to her brother, clopping him. She's got a crush on him. I can't look. Then Twilight crashed to her brother hard. Poof! A large cloud of pink smoke. When the smoke cleared, Twilight was on the ground, balancing like a ballet dancer, and holding her brother up with one hoof, without any means of magical levitation. Shining armor disquest Twilight. It's amazing, said Gomamon, followed by applause from everyone else, even Fluttershy and Starlight. Kyrie and RMS applauded. Fluttershy approached him. Wait, I thought you were all a team. Does you two have any Digimon? And before you go on, Artemis and Kyrie slightly motions him not to say it. Fear for his shame and the already sadness of their guilt. Sadness, sadness, sadness. Couldn't be here today. He had lots to do in the digital world. Twilight got a sense of deceit in his voice. Of course, he could question anyone once he let out a huge yawn, and the other part is yawn. Are you okay? Just a little sleepy, that's all, said Shining Armor. The ponies had quite forgotten it was the middle of the night when they were transported to this world. Daytime in Japan meant it was nighttime to them. Okay, I'm going to complain about this later as soon as I try to figure out transdimensional time travel plus warping and dimension hopping and Narnia time. Ow! My brain! Where are we supposed to stay, though? Asked Starlight. People around here may not be afraid of us, but we don't have a place to go. This suggestion Digimon began to think it over. I always wanted a little pony when I was little, but I don't think my pony folks would approve if we even wanted them. Oh, by the way, I'm here in Japan now! Why did you move from America to Japan? I have no idea. No problem, said Twilight. I saw you spell this should work for us all. She held close to her friends. In magical glow, she transfigured herself and the other three formed into cute little pillows. So she transformed them into Daikamuras. She transformed them into Daikamuras. Good night, everybody! While they're discussing, they also discuss their own interdimensional problems. I think we should tell them. It's not their problem. Kyrie, or what Twilight says, he's an expert in friendship. Maybe he can help you overcome your problem. My problem is a monthly problem. Aramis agreed with Ty. You need help. You want to consider it before your mom. He stopped when Ty glared at him and shook his head softly. What? For my mom, what? Look, just think about it, okay? What was he talking about, Ty? Kyrie asked. For my brother when he was playing. Not wanting to frighten her with the thought that her mother was planning to send her to a psychiatric hospital. She can't get over his darkness. And upset with what happened with Davis and everything else. Well, did he or Kyrie know? Fluttershy was a little bit awake. Everything he talked about, she felt concerned. When Kyrie and Ty got home, their mother greeted him. Hi, kids. I brought your medicine. While their mother fooled, Kyrie and Ty went to Kyrie's room, and Kyrie placed the three of the sleeping pony pillows, Daikamuras, into bed. See, I'm not going to be able to get back to their own world. Meanwhile, in the Dark Zone, ever since the dimensional destructive sense, no Dark Angel had gone out to their duties, and all been called back immediately. This caused a massive congestion, and everybody forgetting their luggage. Also, until the Lord was satisfied, he allowed his angels to proceed again. Go with caution, Dark Angels. You can call to the Dark Zone, go and return, and remember our ways. Many of the Dark Angels bowed, as if the Lord could see them anywhere in the entire realm, and they all fastened to the portals. Nobunaga, Davis, Beast Boy, and Spike were among the countless angels that stayed behind, having more than a fill for the day. Of doing shock shit! Davis and Beast Boy were still feeling a bit worried. Kari could see me, said Davis. I know she did, but I don't know how. I get hit with Raven's power. It did pass through me, but I almost absorbed it, not to be out of the sky. Nobunaga and Spike felt concerned. Perhaps the Lord should know about this. I am already aware. As I told you, anything is possible. Well, except maybe this effect getting good near the end, but... Now perhaps it is true that there are those who can able to lay on us. Badadio! Prisoners of the dark. So what does it mean for us? So you have to be more careful when we go out there. So Davis, I know Kyrie can see me. Which means I have to be careful once he's near. So... just don't be near her! Simple, no.
Beast Boy clenched his fist together. It also means we have to watch out for creatures that can use dark magic, because it can affect us.
Spike was flailing his thumb nervously about something he'd been thinking of.
Something disturbs you, Spike?
Spike finally asked, I know we're all restricted to only go about our respective dimensions, but... He hesitated. Seems to be causing us a lot of emotional grief, looking at our old friends.
Oh my god, it finally happened. A fic has gotten so bad, so stupid. I have to agree with Spike. I hate this fic. I hate it so much.
Maybe we could go about other dimensions and such, like trade places a while. You said yourself anything's possible.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? I have a feeling Mike is gonna pull some excuse out of his ass. Laura sighed softly. I think before I proposed to me this, was I answer the same, is not advisable.
And it's not advisable because...
We come from many different realms and dimensions. Each one of us was different to one another. It remains best to be bound to respective worlds from whence you came from, because of the knowledge and experiences we retrain.
That is a stupid reason. You are a stupid demigod.
Sending a stranger to a different reality may prove dangerous. The quartet understood this and promised to refrain from questioning the Lord again. The Lord said no more, voice faded off, leaving the quartet to slip quietly to meditation. In other words, shift quietly into dullness.